Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Crossing Realms Together. I am your host, one of your hosts, the Reverend Rob Lee from Tarot with an Attitude, and Miss Laura Van Tyne from the Karmic Path, our resident exorcist. Okay, I love saying that. I don't know why. Makes my heart happy. Okay, but welcome aboard, everybody. Miss Laura, how are you this evening?
I am excellent. I had a low-key day today, which was kind of rejuvenating, so no complaints here.
Well, that's good. That's good. We need low-key days. We absolutely need them. You know what's funny? It's something I was going to tell you. Everybody, we're talking about, we said tonight we were going to talk about Bigfoot. You see him over my shoulder, the angels, what you can't see. So I'm going to slide right here. Our little buddy, the aliens, okay? They're right here. See my shirt? Many of them live in peace.
I know, that's an awesome shirt.
I love it. I love my stuff. I have other Bigfoot shirts and things like that. I have one that says, support the local wildlife, and it's Bigfoot walking across it. So, that type of thing. But welcome, everybody. We are here. We're going to do some different things and see what's happening. If you want a reading, pop it in there. Tell me what's going on. But Miss Laura and I are going to kind of do our thing, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. Let me see. We got Wendy. It's good to see you. I met you on the Project Rex today. Nice to see you again. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Miss Deborah saying hi to Wendy, and let's see what's happening. Oh, people are starting to come in. We have Donna, and then Donna, hello, Rob and Laura. So hi, how you doing?
There.
Glad to see you there. Everybody's doing good. Everybody's doing good. Yeah, it's starting. The floodgates are starting. The door came open.
Yeah, I got a small request.
Sure.
You and I are trying to figure out where to do live events, right?
Correct.
It would be awesome if people could pop in like, hey, I'm from North Carolina. Hey, I'm from, we just saw Ontario, Canada. So yeah. If you guys don't mind, we'd love to be able to figure out where we're going, basically. We think we have an idea, but you know what? Let's get some data behind it.
Yeah, so let's get you. I know a lot of times I ask people to put their state or province or whatnot, but yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do that because Laura and I are talking about going on the road, okay? And it's a lot closer than what people think. So that would be awesome, Let us know because we'd like to find some centralized points, okay, where people could make the travel. So where you're from, maybe the next biggest city to you or whatnot. So, wow, look at them all coming in here. We got this going,
Excellent. Thank you. We'll go back and look at these and tally up some stuff, and we'll just keep going on. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so we got Canada to Australia. This is spreading out. And I know we got some New Zealand folks in here, and we'll see some of my South Africa folks coming. Oregon, Crystal Star. Yeah. Well, I should have figured that one. There we go. Hi, Wendy. Good to see you. Michigan here. There we go. We had Michigan was a place we talked about. Trying to get through here.
Originally.
What? You're from there originally?
Originally from Michigan. Sister Lake, Michigan, which is near Dowagiac, Michigan.
Oh, say that again.
The little salute right down here.
Okay. Dowagiac?
Dowagiac, yeah.
Dowagiac, okay. Yep, I thought Holofaw in Florida was bad enough, or Yeehaw Junction. But we're going to that's all right. So we got to go to Dowagiac, Michigan.
There you go. Yeah.
And see what's happening. Natalie, glad you made the show. That's good. Wow. Good to see you. A lot of new people coming in. There's another Canadian in the house. Thank you. We're glad to see it. Gillian's popping in. To all my new people, Gillian is my wife. She helps out here or whatnot. So she tries to keep me on track. She has no problem with Laura. It's me. Okay. It's me that gets off track.
That comment.
I hear you.
Poor Reverend Rob.
I know. Deborah, Kansas. Let's see. Doing great. Let's see what's going on here. I'm trying to get caught up, man. All these things are coming in. But Laura, get us started, okay? Let's talk about, you want to start with aliens? You want to start,
I think we start with Bigfoot, Sasquatch. They're sort of interchangeable. And so these guys, we have to understand that we on this planet live in a planet that has what I would call the third dimension.
Right.
Time, space, gravity. It's what gives us our physicality. It's, gives us these physical experiences. But there's so much more out there than we think we know or see. And for example, just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right?
Correct.
So doctors didn't think viruses and bacteria were real until the microscope was invented and they could see it. Same thing. Our cell phones and our technologies are picking up so much more. We see orbs with their cameras and we see all these other things. So there's a lot there. And all of these energies impact us all the time. And when we can have an understanding of these energies, what they are, where they come from, what their purpose is, it takes away the fear. And it gives us it puts our feet back on the ground, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I agree. And, like you said, if we go back when medicine first, there was bloodletting, leeches, all that stuff, because people just thought they had it all dialed in. And as we take our steps forward through the decades, through the centuries, everything's changed because we had to keep our minds open that there are new things. Look at religion, how it's changed, different things or whatnot. And I think one of the things we're going to see because of this, I want to talk a little bit about 2025. Okay. As we enter this new year, we've got a power shift, okay, in our local government. And 2025 is a year of abundance. In the Chinese zodiac, it's the wood snake. This is a prosperity. And now I'm going to give you something that's really cool. Okay. You know what day the Chinese New Year starts for the wood snake? February 3rd.
Okay.
That's my birthday.
Excellent.
So I'm doubly, triply blessed with all this energy. But we are knowingly now stepping more and more and recognizing an energetic society, which you're going to see more and more things about aliens, angels. I'm going to talk about reptilians here in a little bit because it's a force that needs to be reckoned with. And when people start laughing, I'm like, well, the Bible talks about them, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, you just don't even realize it.
Things, right? They're in those paintings, those little scaly dudes with the horns. Reptilians.
Well, and if you remember, when we're talking about reptilians, all right, what is the first story of Lucifer in the Bible? He was a serpent with 4 legs, with 4 arms. Remember, he was cursed to the ground. So I will believe there are a lot of things in the Bible I still believe in. There are a lot of things I think was man's interpretation. Okay. But it acknowledges that a creature like this existed, and the very Bible acknowledges its ability to communicate and sway the mind of man. So notice God didn't banish it from the earth forever. By the Bible, it was cursed. What do you think? I
agree with you. And so my take on that whole scenario is when Lucifer left the light of God, and I call them the Luciferic forces because he brought others with him. It was almost like it was this big experiment, and the light side's like, what are we going to do about this? I guess we're going to wait and see what happens. And along the way, when the Luciferic forces left the light of God, they didn't have the God source energy to sustain themselves. And they're like, oh, snap. What are we going to do? And then they see people like us on this planet. And they're like, let's see if we can extract energy from Laura or Rob, because they are light beings, that we can utilize their energy. It's very parasitic in nature. We do not need them. They need us.
Correct. And and the other thing I like to remind folks is if we stop and think about it, if we believe in the universe and grand creation and things like that, however you want to do it, and you believe in an angelic presence, you got to remember angels were around before we were. Okay. So was this another godly experiment, an attempt at a creation, a creature or whatnot? And Now we're talking dimensional. So the big guy, Bigfoot. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where you wanted to start, right? With the big guy?
Let's start there, because I think there's a lot here that is rather grounding. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, they exist pretty much all over the planet, some places more than others. There seems to be a lot of them in Canada. So I've got a lot of Canadian clients, and they talk about having Sasquatch families, etc. And so, yes, exactly. They're also called cryptids. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. And so basically, they are benevolent in general. They have families, they have emotions. I have seen them distraught. I have seen them happy. They are very protective. If we treat the land well, we have more opportunity to see and sense them. We have people out there who can give them offerings of food, etc., and they do receive those. These are second dimensional creatures, meaning we live in the third dimension, they live in the second dimension, but they can also phase into the physical third dimension at times. When there is something happening, something of importance, they need to do that. And we have to respect the lands. And I appreciate Crystal Star for mentioning that.
Absolutely.
We have to respect the lands. We have to respect that when we cut down entire forests, we are displacing not just the living, the squirrels and the deer and the this and the that, but we're also changing the energetic signature of that piece of earth. It still can be healed. We're here to live and explore and grow. So we do need homes. We need all of these infrastructures. But we need to find the balance within them. And I actually have a Sasquatch that I've seen on my property. And I've only seen him once, and actually I've seen him a couple of times. Only him. I haven't seen a family of them. And so I don't know. I have not been that inquisitive about it with him, but he walked into an outbuilding and it's like checking around, like, oh, that's interesting. I'm home alone. I was like, ooh, at first I was like, whoa, on high alert, right?
Right.
But then it was like, oh, wait, no, this is, not a human sneaking on the property. It's kind of sad that, a human sneaking on the property sounds scarier than that, but whatever.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they're benevolent, and they're here to assist in many ways. When we're connected to the earth, we connect to them. The same holds true for the Devic kingdom, the fairies and the elementals, the sprites, etc. And these guys are, again, second dimensional creatures. They can only utilize the energy that they receive on this planet. And for the past, seems like forever, but it's not forever. They are utilizing the emotions of fear and anger. And we're seeing tornadoes and this and that. And it's complicated because, yes, we can go into, somebody said weather modification, blah, blah, blah. But these guys can only use the energies afforded to them. So when you are in your home, you're going to meditate and you're going to send love and blessings and calming energy out to your home space, your field, your inner circle, so to speak, your friends, family. That helps mitigate that mind belt of the fears and this and that. So,
and you know what? This is one of the things I talk about a lot. I want people to understand when we talk about healers and healing and Reiki healing and putting things out, we do need to remember that we can put that same energy out to the land, to those things, and help heal and put that positive vibe back in. So it's very important, not just when you go home, like Laura said, and lock the door and say, okay, I'm done, I need to recharge, which we do, okay? But at the same point, it's time to remember to step out our light healing and our frequency healing game, because there's so much here dependent on it. And so we talk about that. Wendy here is saying Earth is alive, and she's been through so much pain at this point. And that is so very true. Natalie's here. What I'd like to do, Natalie, I'm in a desperate situation, almost intolerable agitation, panic, fear, etc. I'm working with my higher self with dreams, breaking agreements, etc., but I'm getting worse. Okay. You know what? My first thing here is, Natalie, I want you to understand that you're going to need to reach out for help. Okay. I do think this is a place where you need somebody to really talk to. There might be some more going on here than what we realize. But in this case, what I'd like to do, Laura, with you here, okay, let's put Natalie in a ring, in a room, something, and let's take a look, because I don't know, I'm picking up there's some type of attachment.
Yeah, there is. And Natalie,
Okay.
is that okay with you if we do
That's
this?
right. So
All right.
Natalie, just pop in there and say, yes, it will be fine. And we're going to do an actual healing circle with you right now and see what we can do and see what can happen.
Yeah,
Because,
and I'm going to encourage her to reach out to me, Laura at thekarmicpath.com also.
okay.
Because Natalie, what you're feeling, it's usually external when it's this much, okay? And it's important to understand it's external. We don't bring this onto us, but it could be many things. It could be something rolling through your family's spiritual DNA. It could be your home is on a negative ley line. I mean, on and on and on and on. But the fix is generally the same. And so, what I would do, I'm just going to focus in on her photo here.
Okay. Here, I'm going to bring that up. We'll do this. And
okay. Yeah. All right. Beautiful. And so, all right. And this is new to me to do it this way, but it still can be done this way. And I would love the feedback, Natalie. What we're going to do is we're going to put you into a tetrahedron, which is a 4-sided pyramid. And you've given us permission, which makes it so much easier. I use a tetrahedron because bubbles pop. It's hard to contain their energies. I used to be a math teacher. Geometrically speaking, this tetrahedron is the strongest shape possible. A lot of people like to get fancy and use a dodecahedron. Just chop off one of those little tetrahedrons and call it good. Don't be fancy. And Natalie, what we're going to do is I'm going to start by just bringing up this huge violet flame through the bottom of the pyramid. We're lining the bottom of it with elite shungite, which is very protective. I'm tipping the vertices with gold, high harmonic gold. And we're just going to start cleaning and clearing and cleaning and clearing. We're going to extend this to your living space. We have the spiritual jurisdiction to use your living space because this is where you spend your time. And, I can take a bath, but if I, go outside and I roll around the mud, well, what's the point of that, right? Same concept. And I am definitely seeing some things, and I'm not going to say them out loud. Natalie, you and I can have that conversation. But we're just going to start cleaning and clearing the body. There's a few things I'm doing here. I'm going to say they have hooks in you, Natalie, to exasperate this fear. You're working with your higher self is a great foundation, by the way. When we can connect with and work with our higher self, we're connecting with the divine, we're connecting with God's source energies. And this is one way to do it. And sometimes our higher selves get damaged in the battle too. These battles are in all dimensions. I am definitely picking up some nefarious entities. And
that's what I have. I'm getting like
entities.
trails of dark, sticky, gooey.
Yeah,
ribbons.
what you're seeing is black goo is just what they utilize to almost suffocate and paralyze us.
Yes.
And you might have heard of the term black goo. I've known about it for 15 years, by the way. And the growling sounds, yep, perfect. Natalie, Laura at the Karmic Path. We're just going to get started here. There's a lot here, Natalie. Sometimes people like you marvel me that you're here, you're a good person, and you're not compromising your soul integrity over this. That's a big deal. So I want you to just take that with you, and I'm cleaning and clearing these things off of you, but we need to get to the root cause, okay? And we'll do that. The growling sounds, I know what those are. They're designed to scare. They don't have a lot of power to them. So we've got reptilians, and then we have like the pawns on the chessboard, which are these lower realm entities. And these are the harasser beings, and they poke at us and they do things to us. And then they have to give those energies they extract from us to their bosses. So they're going to give it to in this case, the reptilians. And when I do this work, I go after whatever's affecting you, but I go after their bosses and their bosses, etc. Because if we don't clean house fully, what's the point, right?
And that's, I'm feeling there's something particularly, somebody brought something in. I don't think Natalie did it. I'm really picking up a dark entity.
There's a portal somewhere. We're going to get that closed up.
Yeah. That's what I'm picking up. That's something in the home. There is something there. So you like step away, things straighten up a little bit, and you get this like, and then you go home and things weigh you back down again. So that's I'm really picking that up. So
yeah, there's again, Natalie, you commend, I commend you for, I mean, you're here, you're a good person, you're doing the right things. Space Cadet Lottie. All right. Okay, we go way back.
Okay.
She's in the UK. So there's a lot of things that we're going to do. There's a lot of, and what I'm seeing a lot lately is not just these interferences, but negative AI tech. It's been around for millennia. It's not new. It is not new. So just know that.
And we have become so dependent on our tech. There's a lot of problems, and we're seeing a lot of this now because a lot of people don't know how to function. You know, I laugh, I've seen a couple of memes, things like that. And we laugh about kids that are like, everybody goes into a complete panic and it has to stop when you can't find your phone. Okay. I have watched people, they're going into 7-Eleven or a convenience store. All right. And they get halfway in and they stop and they come back for their damn phone. Are you camping out in 7-Eleven? We have become that dependent. But I want you to understand, in that tech, I believe there are some things that have been given from reptilian, from different species, shall we say, angelic or alien tech that is used. We advance so quickly, so fast.
Yeah. And it's designed to do some humanity doesn't have the wisdom to handle it well at this point. And Natalie brings up a really good point. We'll get back to these, what we're talking about here, but she says, I asked for the dark portals to be closed. Okay. Demand it. Don't ever ask. Okay?
We had a show about that.
And so just say, I want to, okay. Arcturians are good for this. And you're going to make the request. I'm asking for the angelic realms, the Arcturians, to come in and close this portal and to heal my home and myself right now. And I like to use the words right now because there's no time in those dimensions. I mean, they could just stand around twiddling their fingers forever. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't show force, if you don't show that this is my will, if you don't take control, they know it and they'll feed in that one little area. Like, okay, I know you're demanding it, but you don't think you can actually mean it. You have to have faith in your ability as well as what you're
hard
asking.
when you're under assault all the time. It's just hard.
Yes.
This is why getting outside help is helpful. So
yes,
thank you for that. And but yeah, so anyways, we're talking about the divers and stuff like this. And Natalie, thank you so much for this. This is a really good conversation. There's many ways to protect ourselves. I'm a firm believer in grow your spiritual tool belt. What works today might not work tomorrow, but if you got another tool to whip out, do it.
Yeah.
And like W. Colombo says, she's got this stuff in place. Perfect.
Every door frame. I mean, every door frame, windowsill on each side. Okay. We always put black tourmaline at every entranceway, every window or whatnot to help absorb that negative energy. The railroad spikes here. You can actually, but here's the thing, and what we have to make clear of, and I want Laura to help you with this. So Natalie, reach out, because you can do all this and actually trap an entity in your home because it can't get out. You've got to work from the inside out and make it, and then draw your circles and do your lines. Because I've seen a lot of people where that's, oh, they start, they're saging, they're doing all this stuff. All right. But did you ever open the door? Did you ever tell anything to get out? You know? And then did you invite something good in? You know, that's going to be huge, you know? So
make the request that the angelic realms remove it and take it back to source. It gets it off the earth plane.
Right. The other thing you can do is actually, when you locate this portal, picture yourself throwing Himalayan sea salt, just burying it, throwing it in there, tourmaline everything, and say, this is not permitted in my home. It will close. You will remove it. Angels, take it. But this is no longer allowed in my house, and I want it done now.
And they can collapse it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they can collapse that portal. And then also, when I do this work, I also look for pocket dimensions. And a pocket dimension is a dimension inside of a dimension.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's a lot that we can do. And maybe we just have a show on spiritual tools. And
I think that would be a good idea.
And we all share, right? I mean, because, you know, Operation Stealth Howling might have something that we don't know about, right? I mean, we don't know. So, anyways, let's do a show on tools. I think it would be fantastic.
Let's do that. And maybe we'll set that up. We'll talk about what's happening. Now, while we're on, let's talk real quick. You and I haven't had a chance, so I know we're going to meet for a planning session on Tuesday. But Wednesday next week is Christmas, okay? I thought about doing a show. If you want to do a show with me, great. Just for that support of the celebration and the joy and the happiness or whatnot. You know, kind of like what we did at Thanksgiving. But this is actual Christmas Eve, and people have, you know, families and plans and things like that.
Right, right. So,
you know,
all right, let's figure out what we're going to do next week. Maybe we do a pre-record and just launch it, maybe.
Right.
I've got something going on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. It'll be noisy.
Yeah. So. No, I would do it again in the evening. I would do it in the evening.
Little kids just make the noise, right? So that's all good stuff.
Yeah, we'll sing carols. We'll do, anything. All right. Yeah, Nikki, that would be cool. Yeah, we need to do that. And Lauren, I've talked about, she's got, if you go into my link tree, there's links right there to Laura's spiritual self-defense classes. And we've talked about, we need to put some classes together with each other and do some things. What have we got here? Space Cadet Lottie. Organite disrupts negative technologies. Laura, your copper pipes in the ground works amazing. I use copper wire twisted around an old broom handle. That's awesome. Yes. Yeah, here we are.
Tool I use, and it's in the physical realm. And copper is amazing, and what we can do that. So yeah. All right, let's do that.
Yeah, you know what? And guys, this is coming. It's close. It's close. All right. Solid copper coin. Here, I'll put it here. I'm going to bring this up so people can see it. Okay. All right. That my wife has developed. It's an abundance coin. Okay. She did all the designs on it. Pick the runes, everything else. It has a saying in here about my life is full of abundance. You can actually put this down. You can use it as a worry stone. It spins where you can talk some things, but it's solid copper. So you're going to be able to pick these up very quick. We've got a bunch of them in. So if you're interested, hit me on an email. Okay. Because we don't have them up there yet, but yes, copper, these stay in our pockets. Okay. Copper is a great tool. All right. And they're great for manifesting, but it's also great for grounding and getting some things done. So, so maybe when we do the tools, we might get Gillian involved and talk about the crystals, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk that out. Okay.
All right. I'm not sure about the RH O negative blood. There's a lot of theories about that, but I don't know if it has more copper in it or not. That'd be fun to look up. So We'll look that up before we go.
Yeah. Blood. Okay, we'll find that out. That's, yeah, I love that copper coin. Yeah, it's going to be something we're going to be putting out. She's doing a whole prosperity kit, an abundance kit, and manifestation kit. There's a book. She's written 2 books about manifestation, and it's one of those things. It's all in my link. So check it out in my. I tried to keep everything, even with Laura, in my
link tree.
Link tree, yes. What about copper pennies?
They're not 100% copper anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
You've got to find old ones, and when you find the true copper penny, a lot of times they're worth, I think, double value or something like that. Yeah, so you might want to get it. I have a plain copper coin that I carry, but would love that coin from Gillian. All right, well, y'all shoot me an email, tarotwithanattitude@gmail.com. I'll get Gillian involved. I know she's probably sitting at her desk right now going, because she's not sitting across from me anymore. She's upstairs. I'm down in my studio. She's probably going, bang, bang, bang. I got to get this stuff done. So, yeah, but we will do that. We will make that happen and find out what's going on. So, these copper things, and this is all, and I think we're seeing a lot of this stuff because the energy is so kind of wackadoo right now. And one of the things I feel is nobody trusts anybody. In days we had Walter Cronkite, a couple of guys that we knew, what, they're not going to tell us a bunch of crap. They're just going to give us the news and we get to decide for ourselves. And now people have no one to trust about what's going on. And so sometimes we get caught into some of these, conspiracy theories. Don't hate on me. I'm not saying they're all wrong. Okay. But we can get so caught up because we're looking for something to put our faith in. And remember, put your faith in you. Okay. Put your faith in your intuition.
Right. Discernment's key. It's, yep. Gillian's cringing right now. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, we have to utilize discernment. Is this going to work or not? It may work one time. It may work 100 times. That's just the way it rolls. It's all about frequencies and what we're dealing with. And, but back to the Devic kingdom, etc. This is an important part of humanity, and the Devas work with the trees and nature, etc. So when nature is healthy, the Devic kingdom, the fairies and sprites are healthy. And when you see, the Native Americans knew where to live and they knew where to bury their dead based on the negative ley line, Earth's magnetic grid. So if you see trees that are gnarled and have those, I want to call them boils, but they're not burls, and they're twisted and distorted, there's something energetically going on that does not allow that tree to grow straight and tall. So,
you can see a tree that looks like it's in pain. Is exactly what she's talking about. And you know what? It very well may be. Okay.
And so the Native Americans knew how to do this. They knew what this was about. And we have to go back to those basics. Where the Devas are, where they are, how healthy they are. It's how healthy our land is. And when we have healthy land, we have a healthy body, mind, and soul. So
yeah. So folks, start this at home. You need to make your energy at home. When you're going to do a cleansing of a home, yes, it's important. Everybody thinks they grab a sage stick, wave it around, and they're done. There are things that will actually laugh at you. You've got to call in angelic forces. You've got to know what to do, the energy right. You've got to tell them, stand in demand that they not be there, that they leave, move things out. Then what are you moving in? What is, you can bring healthy energy in. I have seen people use lavender and sage first, just opening their doors and windows. And I'm not saying this is the wrong way. All these beings love lavender. Okay. And the sage helps ward off anything that's of the dark, but of the dark will come in with the lavender. The key thing is, once you do that, you need to go back through counterclockwise with just the sage, demanding that anything of light that came in now must leave. Get the house, every room. You can't just go into a room. I mean, you really need to be directing at every point when you're doing that. It can take my wife and I a half hour, 45 minutes to do just a simple 3-bedroom home, because you're going to have to go with your feelings. So this isn't something just go to the juju store and wave a stick at it. Plus I prefer Palo Santo anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot of tools we can use. And Amelia I remember you, by the way, Amelia, took my Healing the Healers workshop. Though that is now online on my website. And that's the spiritual self-defense class. And I've got some new ones coming up. One is how to raise psychic children in a safe space. The other one is how do you remote view? So I'm going to teach people how to remote view and do it safely. So yeah, I'm very excited about those. You can go to my website, go to courses, and you can just sign up in the community without a commitment, and you'll get the notifications when the new ones come up. So thank you, Amelia. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. And remember, all the links are right in my link tree, down below. Just click the little more word down below, click my link tree, and you can get right to all of her self-defense courses, things like that. It's really, really good. Yeah, thank you, Donna.
Hey. Let's talk aliens.
Yeah. All right. One thing I wanted to ask you about the big guy. Okay. And I call him the big guy. Because people are like, oh, we don't have a good picture of him yet or anything else. Well, we have barely good pictures of aliens, but now we're starting to recognize, okay, they move in such a way and their tech is in such a way. We just have a hard time. We haven't gotten to that point yet. I feel, and when I've actually done a reading or two on it, okay, that Bigfoot, Sasquatch, okay, they're two different things, and a lot of people don't understand that, okay? But one of the things people need to understand, this is a dimensional being. Laura had said about second dimension moving into third dimension, and I think, too, where our dimension is, the third dimension, we have become a portal for moving through dimensions and or timelines for a lot of beings, which is why things disappear, because they don't reside here.
They don't. They have just enough energy to pop in and then pop out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And these dimensions have existed for eternity. There's nothing new about it. By the way, dragon's blood is exactly, I talking about W. Colombo here, sage stick with dragon's blood. Dragon's blood is the horsepower. Okay. 1,000,000 times more powerful than white sage. Dragon's blood is a great resin to use. So yeah.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. It's while we're looking and focusing in on dimensions, we all have different abilities to see psychically. And this is where, when we spot these things, feel, and whatever, we have to understand that I'm not always going to see a ghost standing in front of me. I may get a vibe. I might get a feeling. I might see it, something flitter out of the corner of my eye. There's all kinds of ways to see. No two people have the same levels and skills of all the psychic abilities to the same degree. This is what makes validation and verification so hard. This is why when I work with clients, you and I work together as a team, and we're helping each other along the way, because you could see something that I don't, vice versa. So knowing that we're all different, it's great, but it makes it harder at the same time. If we're all the same, we'd be robots, right?
Exactly. And that's what I do with the tarot cards, with my room, with moving people in and out. Like I said, I saw on Natalie, I saw the tendrils. That was what I was looking for. You know, things like this, and where they need to go and where they need to move. So I work in tandem with Laura. We can work together. If you want to talk to both of us, let us know. We'll figure it out. Okay. But I work with people about finding what's going on or moving through, so you can go on and have the fullest life you can have. You know, that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this, you know.
These nefarious beings, these nefarious aliens, do not abide by spiritual law. All right. They're violating our free will. They're violating our soul sovereignty. They're harming our soul health. They have no right to do it, but they don't care. The light side is operative. The light side must abide by spiritual law. This is where we have to ask for help and be direct. So know that. And when we're dealing with these aliens, this planet was supposed to be settled in light and life. Okay. It was not really supposed to be this way. Living a mortal life is really hard. It's not easy, especially right now. I don't think it's ever been this difficult. So these nefarious beings impact us all the time. Everything is energy. The reptilians are energy. Having a bad day is energy. It's just energy. So all I do is shift energy. It's more sophisticated than that, but that's the nuts, right? Nuts and bolts there. So shifting the energy, and some people can see these, some people don't. And I was doing a project a couple of years ago. There was a series of, I'm going to say, office buildings in another state. I have to be careful. I signed,
Right.
some stuff here. And on the video footage are tall white grays.
Okay.
And I've got the video footages. I mean, and I've got hundreds of them because they kept sending me more and more and more and more. And what was happening is the grays are the ones who like to experiment on humanity. We hear about abductions, it's usually the grays. And what they were doing is, you could see in the videos, they would send these little tiny white balls floating out in the air, and they land on somebody. And now all of a sudden that person does something egregious. One person grabbed another person by the hair and yanked that person down to the ground and had no memory of it. Okay.
Yeah.
And my job was to remove them. And it was probably the hardest job I ever had. And it was interesting when I finally went on site, because I've been trying to do it remotely for a couple months, but the nest or the infestation was so great. I actually went to the property, because normally I don't have to. And when I get there, you could hear, and for the first time ever, you can hear them speak on the cameras. And it was a very electronic sound, and it said, "Oh no, she's here." And it's like, damn, they know who I am.
Right. Well, you and I have had interference.
Yes, we have.
When we were going on a top, it's folks, sometimes y'all don't even know what we've been through trying to get a show on. We'll be sitting here talking just like this, and all of a sudden everything starts vibrating, the sound quits, the camera quits, and you're like, okay. And we just about get to the point where we think we're going to cancel the show. And we're like, no, we're not. We're going to figure this out. And then we do a prayer. And Laura and I will do what we tell you to do. We will stop, sit back, say a prayer, bring the energy, shift the energies. If we have an issue, we will call each other and say, I have this going on. Where are we at? So I want y'all to understand, it's very important that a lot of this, once you know it, you don't have to go it alone. And that's the reason, like with Natalie, I said, you're going to need to get help. Sometimes, I can read tarot. Laura's an exorcist. She can take care of a lot of stuff all on her own. But there are times you need that third party that's not connected to be able to really step in and see what's going on.
We're coming in from left field. They don't expect it as well. And the grays, their job is to experiment on humanity. It's not right. They do. They harvest our DNA. They do a lot of things. They will abduct us at night and they bring us back. Sometimes they don't. A lot of Native Americans, especially up in the north, simply disappear. And it's usually a gray abduction. I don't want to scare people, but it is what it is. The other ones are the reptilians. Again, these are both parasitic beings. The grays bred themselves. They bred themselves out of, how do I want to say this? They no longer can breed amongst themselves. They need our DNA to breed, which they are almost robotic in nature. The EBEs are more robots. Okay. The reptilians, there's many forms of them, just like the grays. There's 7 different or so types of reptilians. The big ones are more of like the warrior ones. The little ones are like the little brains behind the whole thing. I just cleaned out. Do I have permission to share this? Yes. Okay. I spent the past month, I've been working my booty off, but it's still rather large, but whatever. um, Cleaning up reptilian nests throughout Europe.
Okay.
And it was a big job, and it was interesting because I had all these 4 jobs in different countries. They don't know each other, and solving the problem was really hard, and I wasn't quite getting it. And then I had this one person in another country say, "Hey, I've got this reptilian base under my apartment complex." I'm like, "Oh." We cleaned that up, and all of a sudden it became like a domino effect. And I started cleaning up these others, and my other 4 clients in these other different countries the same day were like, "Oh my gosh, everything's cleared up. What did you do?" It's like, whoa. They were all interrelated, hive mind mentality. And
Things
so
things tie together.
they do. And so what I got for last week or earlier this week, I forget, is that the light side is now at 51%, which is huge.
Yeah.
This is very optimistic. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's huge. The light side has the upper hand. Yeah. So the reptilians, yeah, they're not pretty to look at.
No, they're not. Okay. And that's why.
Good question. Yeah. So they're at 51%. We're gaining the upper hand. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but lately people seem to be kinder in public. I don't
Yeah.
know if
I think people are realizing, unless you're just on completely opposed forces, let's put it this way.
Right.
Okay. But I think people are being kinder. They're gentler or
There's
whatnot.
less
Hey, real quick, let
Yeah.
me say hi to Zen 1964, Holly. Okay. She has been trying to get into our show over and over and over and always just misses it. So, Holly, Zen 1964, welcome aboard. Glad you finally made it. Hey, everybody that's popping in, we're getting a great crowd tonight. Make sure, I don't care if you're on Laura's channel or my channel, okay? Hit that subscribe button. Folks, if you're going to help me out or Laura out, we need that subscription and the shares. Even if you just pop in a comment, hi, like you were doing before, I'm from Michigan or something. Great show at the end. This will help us. We are trying to do this and get some things moving bigger and better. And we're on a roll now, but I'm going to put it right out there that I need that help. Laura needs that help. Okay. Because we can get this message out to other people. So that's very important. BC, good to see you. Glad you are here. That's great news. Thank you, Gillian. Oh my God, I'm getting so far behind. Look at this. Here we go. I know. Dragons are not the same thing as reptiles. Isn't that true?
That is true. Dragon forces have been waking up. And I've seen a lot more in the dragon realms helping us lately. They're waking up. They're coming out of stasis. They had to go into stasis because they couldn't protect themselves. And so they're starting to come out now. And so there's a lot of these good light beings that are here for us. I'm talking about the Greys and the Reptilian. There's a third one out there that's pretty awful too, but there's a few more. But you get the idea. They're all parasites. We don't need those. They need us. Let's talk about the good guys though, while we got some time too.
Yeah, here, real quick, I want to answer Space Cadet Lottie's question. When they came to Earth, they were beautiful. Okay. Well, like I said, something happened. And then when their interaction, they had an ulterior motive and they were cursed to the ground, a certain species of them. When they are here, 9 times out of 10, when you work with them and you don't know you're working with one, because they are shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Okay. They can shapeshift. But when you see them, and again, Native Americans, a lot of they have written about these. They are in their lore about the lizard people, things like that. It's in Egypt, it's in everything else. So yes, if you see one not in a shape-shifting position, it very well, okay, would be repulsive, going back to that being cursed, okay, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and there's ways we'll talk about this when we talk about spiritual tools to discern a shapeshifter. All right, that'd be great. We've got Arcturians. I talked about them a little bit. Arcturians are 5th dimensional beings. They are here to help us. They're coming more and more and more. They have several, I'm going to call them motherships, for lack of a better word, circling around our planet, within our planet, to assist us. I've been working with them very intensely on certain, I'm going to say, aviation issues across the United States lately.
Okay.
And they're here to help us. They have amazing healing capabilities. They're very intelligent. They are almost a unified consciousness. They're not hive mind, but they take their information and they share it. There's no competition within the Arcturian species, which is interesting. They are here together. They help us that way. They're great beings. Arcturians, if anybody wants to look them up. Another really benevolent species are the Pleiadians, and they are more positively emotionally based, for lack of a better word. They're a softer energy. They are here to transmute a lot of stuff, but we have to ask them. And there's, within the starseed nations, there's a lot of other beings, the Lyrans, etc., Syrians. There's a lot out there. In fact, I dare say there's more of these extraterrestrials, and I consider angelics to be extraterrestrial too, because they are technically not of this earth, right?
Correct.
But
I would agree.
they're benevolent beings. Every species has a political hierarchy to them. They all answer to somebody, the same, just as the same as us going to our job and going to work. We've got a political hierarchy. We've got, at school, we do this and that. So it's all there. They're operative. They work amongst themselves nicely. And it's not, there's not a competition. There's not violence between them. It's very, very different. And they're here to help us. They're here to help humanity. And
we have to understand in all flow of life, and this gets back into, if you look at the Tao Te Ching, the Tao, the yin yang.
Yeah.
For every, even our own physics teaches us, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, I don't care what it is. It's just life. It's the way things work. And you're going to laugh at me, okay? But if you think about it, Star Wars kind of edges on teaching about energy and that there's a white and a dark. The only thing is, you would understand the dark is not bad, okay? It's just the opposite of white. And these are things. So if we have these, diabolical evil forces at work, then there's going to be greater good forces at work. For everything, there is an opposing force, and they've all got something. And now that we know we're not the center of the universe, we're not the center of the galaxy, other things are weighing in. Now, I think a lot of aliens, when they come by Earth, they look over the shoulder and say, kids, we're going by Earth, roll up the windows, lock the doors. Okay, we got to get out of here. All right, we're the bad neighborhood in the galactic system. All right.
Yeah. I think we got a spammer on here, Rob.
Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can't.
Not appreciated.
Ban user. Okay.
And
there we go. Let's see what we've got.
Lynn, getting to the dragons is a great one.
And you know what I find funny here when you look at this? Her name was Tarot Destroyer. They will ride. And folks, I'm going to go into a little bit of a tirade. It'll be short, Laura, I promise.
Right.
Okay. But when you have a person claiming, and this was a great time for her to pop in and be an ass, okay? I would, if she would have popped in and say, I have questions, okay? I would have talked to her. But these are the people that will tell you they are readers. Give you all kinds of crap.
She's back.
Back. Okay, here we go.
And they're ruining the possibilities, right? Of healing, of goodness, of Christ consciousness energy.
Right. I mean, so what does she stand to gain from that? That's so that's just it. But this is showing you, for every good, there's a bad.
Somebody like this is reptilian based and they hide behind the Christ consciousness.
Right. And look at what we were just talking about. And she's back.
Yeah.
And the problem comes in, I can't click fast enough a lot of times.
Oh, okay. And so she's all right. Yeah. So you know what? Sorry, guys, not sorry, but this is a great example of a parasitic operative.
Right.
And we'll just use this as a learning opportunity. And we're hitting.
And it's funny that we were talking about this is the stuff Laura and I go through. Okay. When we're giving a solid message, people were gaining something. There was something you needed to hear about reptilian. Just think about it. Wow. You know, and Wendy, you're exactly right. That's how you know you're doing the right thing. You know, that tarot destroyer is a busy bee, gets everywhere. You know, okay, got it. Yeah.
No, so, and what's really sad about this is that there she is again. So we're just
everybody just ignore her.
We're gonna ignore it. We're gonna keep talking because these parasitic entities are designed to destroy. Right. They seek us light beings out, and everybody here in this chat is a light being, and that's a big deal. There's so many really good people out there who struggle every day, and no matter what their interferences are, their soul is incorruptible. That's a big deal.
Yep.
And this is where we're at. This is what we're doing with the show. And there's so many benevolent beings out there. The angelics are some of my favorites. I mean, I have a huge team of angelics that I just love to death. They're here to help. And we've talked about angels before. Just make the request. They do so much for us.
Yeah, they do. And you know, there are so many forces that were given by God, by universe, by the divine mother, the creation, things like that. There are so many things we have at our avail. And so many times we get caught on looking at the negative, you know, and being focused on, oh, I got to watch out against this. I got to watch out against that. When we've got a whole team of angels that we haven't even called into action. You know?
And when I go places, I make the request that my angels come and they remove anything negative coming my way instantly. It works well.
Yeah, it does. It does. And, you know, again, this is one thing I would tell y'all. This is where instead of cussing, screaming or whatnot, you know, I've already said a prayer, you know, that this person is lonely. You know, there's something going on that this is their only way, you know. So instead of being angry or whatnot, I'm asking right now that just pure light descend on this person, okay? And I hope they find the happiness that obviously they don't have, you know, because I would rather convert and get this person over and realize what's happening, you know. Oh, she's back. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on. What is this comment? Okay. Here we go. She's trying something different now. All right. Yeah. So there we go. All right. Where did that come from?
Yeah. So, folks, thank you for your patience with this. And we will do some things here in the future with this. And there's one more there. So,
yeah, I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. So, because evidently in the delete that got stuck up there. So, all right. And let's just do it this way. I've been wanting so badly to know my dragon. I just know I have a dragon spirit near me. I see them everywhere in the sky almost every time I go outside. One of the things to remember, the year 2025, starting February 3rd, is the year of the wood snake, which the wood snake is a variant of the dragon. So you need to understand it's believed that snakes were come from dragons or whatnot. So this is a very prosperous year. This is a year that we can make things happen. And, you know, it's just one of those things. You know, what?
Lisa Lynn, you may have more than one dragon.
Yes.
Yeah, you may have more than one. A lot of us out there are becoming more and more fortified this way. So yeah.
Exactly.
And
all right. Well, you know what? We are at the top of the
guys,
hour. If anybody's got anything else, because all I'm doing now is sitting here and just
yeah, we're good.
playing click police, So, but we got a lot of people.
Coming.
Folks, again, let's see. Maybe we can, I don't know, whatever. You just got to laugh these people off. Okay. You got to laugh these people off. That's all there is to it. So, Mom told me that if you focus on what you're supposed to do, you won't have time for what you're not supposed to do. Exactly.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Let's see what's going on. What angel is helping me the most this time? Lucy, I would love to do this with you. I know we spoke earlier today, but we're at our hour mark here. We're going to call this off because we've had a little bit of influence and things there too. It kind of throws our energy off a little bit, but we're good. I will be back on Monday night. You can reach out to us at any time and go. So, yes, please, Lucy, I would love to talk to you. Folks, make sure you're writing these in. You can reach out to Laura at her email, laura@thekarmicpath.com, and me at tarotwithanattitude@gmail.com. All right. And Lucy, I'll be glad to try to help you out with that. Okay. Do me a favor, hit me with an email and remind me, and I will be glad to set that time aside and do something with you on that. Okay. Because I appreciate you following this over from Rex. Okay. Everybody, it's been awesome. Y'all been awesome. This is great. All right. Laura, you got anything else you want to say before
for everybody that's here spending time with us tonight? Thank you so much. It's just been a great evening, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So thank you.
You know what, folks? I couldn't have said that any better. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to say, guess what? With everybody, take what you want. Mondays, what time? Mondays, I am live at 8:30. Monday and Wednesday. Monday is me alone and with Laura. Generally, I do 8:30. I got people in my time zone going, you're doing this when I'm going to bed. Okay. But I've got so many people all around. It's one of the best times for everybody. So yes, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Monday, I will be back at it, okay? And really getting into the Christmas spirit. So I want y'all I'd love to have y'all around. Let's see what's going on. But with all that being said, take what you want, leave what you don't, but leave having experienced some peace, love, and light. Bigfoot,